Jagadgurum Padpadme Tayor Shikva Pranamami Mohorumoho Namaha Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Swamine Tapaharine Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudeva Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Namo Narayanaya to revered Pravrajika Ishtaprana Mataji and loving devotees. It gives me great joy to welcome you to our special program to celebrate International Women's Day. Sri Sarada Devi says, as you smell the fragrance of a flower by handling it, or the smell of sandalwood by rubbing it against a stone, so you obtain spiritual awakening by constantly thinking of God. This morning, we are fortunate to listen to 3 inspiring messages. Our first speaker is Her Holiness, Revered Pravrajika Ishtaprana Mataji. We are truly blessed to be in the holy company of Revered Mataji on this platform.
Om Yathagnirdahika Shaktihi Ram Krishne Stitahya Sarva Vidya Swarupam Tam Sharadam Pranamamyaham Sharadam Pranamamyaham. Om Namo Narayanaya, dear sisters and brothers. Saints and incarnations of God see the Atman or soul in all. While we see the external physical body, they see the same God or Atman in all beings. Therefore, they are always kind, compassionate, and forgiving. The eternal and luminous Atman is sexless. It is beyond male and female. When we ill-treat or disrespect anyone, we hurt God in that person. Swami Vivekananda says, we should not think that we are men or women, but that we are human beings, born to help one another. The Devi Mahatmyam is a scripture in praise of God as the Divine Mother. Thousands of Hindus chant it every day. One verse says, Om Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matrurupena Samsthita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Salutations again and again to the Devi who abides in all beings in the form of Mother. Spiritual practices like repeating God's name, reading the scriptures, and broadening our outlook, looking beyond male and female, make the world a better place to live in. As we learn to understand that the same God is in all beings, none will be unkind to anyone. Today, many women are making remarkable progress. In spite of their struggles, they empower themselves and go forward. Faith in God and prayer give them inner confidence. In homes where women are treated well and the family prays regularly, there is peace, security, and stability. Sri Sarada Devi is the ideal for many aspects of women's lives today. Sri Ramakrishna respected all women as the embodiment of the Divine Mother herself, and even worshipped Sri Sarada Devi as the living goddess. Her life is a classic example of how one can be empowered from within. Her infinite love, patience, forbearance, and inner strength are what we need to be progressive. Mother could never find fault with anyone. She never blamed anyone for her struggles. She was always happy and content because she trusted in God. Often, mothers who experience difficult challenges lose hope and they feel that they are alone. Holy Mother experienced many difficulties, especially after the passing away of Sri Ramakrishna. Mother Sharda was only 33 years old at that time, but yet she did not give in to despondency. The power of her prayer sustained her and filled her with inner strength. We also have to awaken our innate divinity through silent prayer. We often say, be strong and powerful. What does this mean? We do not have to raise our voices or make demands to show our strength. Spiritual and mental power are far greater and more effective than physical or verbal expressions. Holy Mother never gave a single lecture, yet, just by being in her holy company, people's lives were transformed. Mother Sharda says, the easiest and best way to solve the problems of life is to repeat the name of God silently. Today, people easily take to substance abuse. This brings more pain and suffering and injures our body in which God resides. Instead of helping the situation, it brings more pain and suffering. By being patient and chanting the sweet name of God, we are filled with confidence and peace. Satsangs are the best way to change the atmosphere and vibrations in our homes. So many beautiful and powerful chants are available today. Listen to them whenever you can. They fill us with joy and help us to progress. When we feel dejected, repeat God's holy name. Sri Ramakrishna says, just as the birds perched on a tree fly away when you clap your hands, The birds of evil thoughts fly away when you clap your hands and sing the sweet name of God. Holy Mother's selfless life is a beacon light to all of us traveling on life's difficult journey. Mother fills us with hope and courage and reminds us that we are not alone. Mother teaches us to treat everyone, including plants and animals, with love and care, since God is in all of creation. Let this Women's Day help us to reflect on our treatment of others. How selfless and caring are we? Mother Sarada says, if you can bring joy to someone every day, the purpose of your life is fulfilled. I pray that all our mothers feel encouraged and empowered. When we meditate on Holy Mother's serene form, we are filled with peace. Let us remember that we have an eternal Mother in the Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. Her benign glance is always protecting us. Have faith in the infinite power of God's sweet name. May the Divine Mother bless us all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
We thank revered Mataji for those divine words of wisdom. On this special day honoring women, we are fortunate to receive spiritual thoughts from revered Mataji. We are happy to welcome Miss Deepa Daya, who will speak about self-care. Miss Daya is an ardent devotee of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sarada Devi. She has been associated with the ashram since childhood. She has always been actively involved in the ashram's activities. Miss Daya is an expressive arts therapist and has a B.Tech in Fine Arts and a B.A. in Social Science with Psychology and Child and Youth Development.
Dear Pravrajika Ishtaprana Mataji, sisters, brothers, and loving devotees, Om Namo Narayanaya. Sri Sarada Devi said, "You see, my son, it is not a fact that you will never face dangers. Difficulties always come, but they do not last forever. You will see that they pass away like water under a bridge. In this unusual time of a pandemic, we are all facing difficult times, yet it is how we manage and cope with these difficulties that will help us to get through them. All art has a way of making us realize our feelings, find new perspectives and solutions. Expressive art therapy is a form of psychotherapy that uses the different art modalities as tools of expression, along with traditional talk therapy. We use visual arts like paint, clay, drawing, as well as movement, sound, music, and writing as a way of self-expression and discovery. Expressive art therapy has some key components that make it different to other psychotherapies and art classes. It is a client-centered therapy, which means that the focus is the client, their needs and development. Expressive art therapy uses low skill and high sensitivity. That is, that you do not need to be skilled in art or have artistic abilities to be able to create and explore your inner self. A session is conducted with a therapist so that together we learn and experience what the client is going through in order to see the new way through it. This is an approach that concentrates on the direct experience, what we are experiencing in our body, mind, and heart in the present moment, and to listen to what our consciousness is telling us. We can form simple habits that we can do at home that assist us in listening to what we need. From the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, he said, "Art is representing the beautiful. There must be art in everything." I will share a simple self-care practice that you can do at home. Step 1. Preparing the space. In this step, we invite our senses, sight, sound, smell, and touch, to be present. Find a quiet space where you can be alone for 15 or 20 minutes. Find a scented candle or incense stick and light it near you. Gather your materials, paper, pen, pencils, crayons, whatever materials you have at home, and keep them near you. Step 2. Mindfulness practice. If you can, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take 5 deep breaths. Breathe slowly in and slowly out. Keep breathing at your own pace. Our breath helps us to focus and connect our mind and heart on a simple rhythm and brings our body to the present moment. As you breathe, notice where in your body you feel comfort or discomfort. Notice where your mind is and bring it to listen to your breathing. Lastly, as you breathe, notice your heart. What is your heart feeling right now in this moment? Step 3. Create. Use the materials that you have gathered and go with the feelings and thoughts from your body, mind, and heart. Make lines on your page. Let your hand be loose and free. Try not to overthink it and move your hand where it wants to go. Once you are finished, only when you feel that you are done and your hand no longer wants to move, then stop. Step 4. Check in. Once you are done, take 3 deep breaths. With these breaths, check in with your body. What is your body telling you? The next breath, think of your mind. What is the first word that comes to mind? And next, check in with your heart. How do you feel right now in this moment? Step 5. Write. Now that you have 3 words from your body, mind, and heart, write them anywhere in your drawing, wherever they wish to fit in. Step 6. Reflect. Look at what has emerged. Look at the image. Do you see anything? Do the lines and words that emerged show you how you are feeling or managing in the world right now? It is normal to have unpleasant feelings or thoughts. Leave it all on the page. Do you see any of your strengths? Think about how the exercise has allowed you to acknowledge your feelings or anything that you have been holding on to. Try to leave those feelings on the paper. The paper can handle it, and you can allow yourself to process these feelings and try to let it go. Right now, during the time of the pandemic, it is important for women who are the primary caregivers, from nurses to mothers, to look out for others. Thus, we need to remember to take care of our own minds, listen to what care our bodies need, and find ourselves the self-love that is required in order to give back to those that we care about. As Michelle Obama said, women in particular need to keep an eye on their physical and mental health, because if we are scurrying to and from appointments and errands, we don't have a lot of time to take care of ourselves. We need to do a better job of putting ourselves higher on our own to-do list. Forming good habits that help our mental, physical, and spiritual well-being is what makes us feel whole and creates balance in our lives. try to make time in your day, week, or month that is just for you to be in the moment and to take care of yourself. It can be meditation, it can be an activity, but whatever it is the time that is just set aside for you and your own mental or spiritual well-being. I would like to wish all the women a special Women's Day. Remember that you are also a priority and to take care of your own well-being so that you can look after those that you love. Om Namo Narayanaya.
We thank Ms. Daya for her creative presentation. Our next speaker is Ms. Niriksha Singh, who will discuss healthy postures. Ms. Singh is also an ardent devotee of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sarada Devi. She has been associated with the ashram for many years and is involved in the ashram's medical and humanitarian work. Ms. Singh is an occupational therapist by profession, specializing in hand rehabilitation and works extensively in physical rehabilitation.
Om Namo Narayanaya. Thanks for joining me on this segment on healthy postures. I am an occupational therapist, and this is similar to physiotherapy where we do exercises, but we focus a lot on ergonomics. Ergonomics is how you use your body in relation to the environment that you are in. For example, what you do when you are sitting, when you're standing, when you're cooking. We are looking at how you apply your body in a more healthy way so that you don't tire yourself out or cause pain. I'm going to start with sitting. Sitting is something we commonly do, and we all think that we do it correctly. But there is an art of sitting properly so that you don't cause pain and you utilize your muscles when you sit. When we sit, we have to watch the alignment of our spine, the neck, as well as how we position our shoulder blades. I will show you now how to sit correctly, focusing on these areas. If you look at the screen, I am now activating to sit up straight. You will notice how much taller and straighter I become. If I have to slump, I can actually look much shorter because I'm not using my chair to sit properly and I'm not applying my muscles correctly. If you look at the side position, if I'm not sitting using the chair, I'm actually away from it and my body is slumped. Sometimes we have to actually push our bodies into the chair to help give us the correct alignment and also to support the muscles correctly. That's why chairs have a chair back to give us that support. So let's go through these areas in our body. Firstly, we have to activate our spine by keeping it straight. This means you will straighten your back or make yourself become taller. If you have a gap in your chair like mine, you would have to use a cushion or a pillow to support your spine so that you sit up more straight. Thereafter, you have to activate your shoulder blades back and also gently drop your chin so that your head is not tilting forward or not tilting too down. You will have to try this every time you sit, whether you're in a car, watching TV, sitting and having your dinner. You have to focus on your tummy muscles to pull in and to activate, shoulder blades to slide back, chin must be dropped slightly forward, not too forward and not too up in the air, and hold yourself straight up in this position. This takes lots of practice, so keep at it to get it better. Computer use. During this lockdown, we've had to use the computer far more than we've ever done before. Whether it's at work or when you're doing your children's homework, the computer has become a big part of our life. With this has been many hours of working probably in the incorrect posture. Many of us would work with our computer away from us like this, but this causes a tendency for us to reach forward. With this, we create a downward tilt of our neck, which causes much more pain later on, and often we find we have to stretch to relieve the pain. In order to help with these problems, try to pull your computer closer to your edge of the table. Also ensure that your hands are fairly rested on the table and not hanging off when you type. When you support your hands, it forces your posture to be more straight. If you find that you are bending too much while working at the computer and feeling neck strain, try two things. Firstly, use a book and try to elevate the height of your computer. This will also make you sit up straighter and have your neck alignment much easier. Secondly, try and utilize your chair better, that you sit more upright in the chair, as we've discussed with proper sitting habits in the earlier segment. Lastly, with computers, you may find that your hand also gets sore. Using the mouse is the reason for this, because you're continuously moving your mouse with the right hand, hardly with the left hand, unless you've got a left-handed mouse. It is suggested that you also raise the height of your hand like this, using a book so that the alignment of the mouse to your book is the same, so that the wrist is not unnecessarily bent. Standing correctly. In order to stand correctly, we have to look at different parts of the body, namely the feet, the knees, our pelvis, the stomach, the shoulder blade, and the neck. Yes, who would have thought that we needed so many muscle groups in order to stand up straight? So as I'm standing now looking at you at the screen, you can see my posture. And you're welcome to join me as I do this. If you look now, I can activate and make myself be much taller and straighter. Look again from the side view. So here I'm standing without correct postures. And once I activate, I become much taller and straighter. This will help you for your posture control, which will also help you for any neck and spinal problems. And remember to use this even when you are standing and cooking, whether you're chatting, or whether you're doing any of your housework. Once again, this takes a lot of practice, but once you get it, you'll be able to activate all 7 groups of muscles, which then give you more support for the spine and therefore less pain. So let's go through these areas in more detail. First, stand with your feet not too wide, no, not too narrow apart. Make sure that you have a comfortable distance between your 2 feet so that you have alignment through your ankles, knees, and hips. Once you're standing, relax your toes. They shouldn't be clenched into your shoe or on the ground. From there, make sure your knees are not locked back, but actually let it relax slightly. Then, tap in at your tummy to activate the tummy muscles. And pull your pelvis muscles and your buttocks muscles to be nice and tight and firm. With that, pull your shoulder blades back. And again, align your neck so that it is either slightly back and tilted backward or chin facing down. Once you've activated these muscles, you are activating the spinal muscles more correctly. Healthy postures for bending. Because we are dynamic as human beings, we're always moving, we have to always pick up things from the ground as well and work at different surfaces. But you have to be careful when you're picking up items from the ground level, especially if they are heavy. Often we go quickly down in this position, but that is causing a lot of strain on the spine, and when it's something heavy, it adds to the load, which then causes pain on the spine. I'm sure you're aware that you have to bend this way in order to do so. Because the knees may not always be strong, it is advisable then to hold onto a surface to help you get that bend, keeping your spine straight when you do so. Often when we bend for items, we reach with one hand to lean over, but try not to do that. Rather, go close to the surface, Try and use 2 hands in order to bend and lift an item rather than putting strain on one side of your body like this. Whenever we bend, try and rely on things around you to hold and to support you, and to make sure that you're bending with your knees and not just your back. This will help reduce your spinal pain and discomfort. I hope that these tips on healthy postures have helped you and that you'll be able to use this in the future days. Remember that we're always busy and we become preoccupied with what we're doing, so we don't always check what our body is doing. Trying to be mindful while you move in order to see what is happening to your body and where the strain is coming from. Don't forget to move in between postures. So if you're standing or sitting for too long, try to change posture every 30 minutes or so. Keep well and take care. Om Namo Narayanaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya. Let us sit calmly and contemplate on the blissful form of the Divine Mother seated in our hearts. The meaning of the Saptashloki Durga verses is very powerful. 2 verses say, "When called to mind in a difficult pass, O Mother, you remove fear from every person. When called to mind by those in happiness, you bestow a mind still further pious. Which goddess but you, O dispeller of poverty, pain, and fear, has an ever sympathetic heart for helping everyone. Mother Divine, noted for your zeal in affording protection to the weak and the afflicted. O Mother, the dispeller of the miseries of all, to you, O Narayani, our salutations." Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, महामाई की जय, स्वामी जी महाराज की जय, गंगा मात की जय, महावीर स्वामी जी की जय, सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की जय। पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव की जय। ओम नमो नारायणाय।
We thank Ms. Singh for her interesting and informative presentation. Dear devotees, thank you for joining us on this special program to celebrate International Women's Day. We are happy to announce that the ashram has embarked on a new project to assist little children. Mrs. Veena Daya is happy to teach or guide interested devotees on how to knit or crochet baby dolls and blankets. The ashram will donate these to children's homes and hospitals. Please contact Mrs. Veena Daya at 083 779 7091 to learn how to make the items. These will bring much joy to the hearts of children. Kindly deliver the items to the ashram for distribution. Please subscribe to our new YouTube channel and Facebook so that you are able to join us for satsang every Sunday morning and during festivals. Please take note of the following functions. Mahashivaratri will be held on 11th March. There will be 4 one-hour satsangs. Please refer to our handbills via Telegram and Facebook for further details. Sri Ramakrishna Tithi Jayanti will be observed on 15th March. Please take care and be safe. Om Namo Narayanaya.